I've been invited to share with you some thoughts about the Easter season. Like you, I have missed our Easter celebrations in the church. I have missed the humbling image of the washing of the feet from our Holy Thursday liturgy. I've missed the haunting quietness of the Stations of the Cross, so prayerfully reenacted by our young people each year on Good Friday morning, and the solemn dignity of the Passion at 3 p.m. I've also missed the wonderfully joyful celebrations that are Easter. These 3 days that make up the Triduum are for me a reflection of life, and in a particular way, a reflection of life for us all at the moment, and for me and my recent personal journey. COVID-19 has provided countless examples of people helping and serving others and finding ways to especially connect with those who must be feeling more isolated now than ever before. This need to be of service or to help others seems to me to be a very strong yearning in people's lives. And this is the message of Holy Thursday, our call from Jesus, not to be the master, but to be the servant, to do as he did. COVID-19 has forced us to make sure that our neighbour is okay. Good Friday, with its powerful reminder of the mortality of all humans, so forcefully blasted across our TV screens as the numbers of those who have died across the world grew and grew and grew, and the stories of the loneliness of some of those deaths with no loved ones around them, the horrific images of the dead, someone's mother or father or brother or sister in body bags in New York, was sometimes too much to bear. Yet Good Friday reminds us that death and the fear and despair that goes with death is part of the human experience. And then the triumphant Easter story. Here the hopes of the disciples that had been completely annihilated and turned to fear was transformed into joy of such proportions that they scarcely believed what they saw. This is the joy that only Jesus can bring. Just as the hope of the disciples faded into fear, so our own hope may be waning, and we may be feeling fearful or anxious. We may be despairing that things are never going to be the way they were. But the resurrection transformed hope, even hope that was filling into joy, joy that cannot be extinguished by fear. Easter tells us that our hearts should be filled with this inextinguishable joy, this life-giving, overwhelming, overflowing joy. There will be death, there will be trial, there will be doubt, there will be despair. These are part of the human condition. But as Christians, we not only cling to, but we grab hold of with two hands the joy not only promised, but already delivered in the resurrection of Jesus. Soon we will open our homes again. Soon we will invite our families and friends over. Soon our church doors will be flung open. Soon we will be able to celebrate this joy together. In the meantime, you can celebrate it in your heart. So in the middle of the Eastern season, in the midst of COVID-19, we need to remember this joy. It will sustain you. I know personally that it will sustain you. This Easter has been like this for me personally. Each of you, perhaps without knowing, have been praying for my son Jeffrey, who was diagnosed with leukemia last year. He's been on our parish prayer list for months. You know, one of those names that you keep seeing week after week after week. During this time, I have watched him nearly die, being kept alive only by machines and life-saving medicines and an army of doctors and nurses. So this Easter, I was certainly like the disciples. Hope had all but vanished, and I was afraid. I was angry and despairing, and I felt abandoned by God. But hearing again the joy of the Easter story, that hope has been rekindled. I can tell you that my son is on the slow road to recovery. He's home now after 4 months in hospital. So I'm not only filled with joy, I am brimming with joy. And I know that the prayers of the parish, you who barely know me, sustained him and sustained me even in my doubt. Easter is not a one-day event. It is our life. the dying and rising that happens in big and small ways throughout our lives. COVID will soon be over. My son, God willing, will continue to get better, and soon our church will be open again. So take heart. Easter is about life, your life and my life and our life as a parish. God bless.